Raptors are invading the streets of Universal Studios, there's a battle at the Ministry, and villains just killed Lightning McQueen. It's your theme park news for the week of September. Holy crap, it's already September 5th. Guys, guess what? You're not gonna believe this. We've got headlines. A new float is joining the mega movie parade at Universal Studios in Orlando. Why would they add the Raptor Paddock? Did no one listen to Robert Muldoon? Of course they didn't. They didn't even check to see if he was alive before they jumped in the chopper and flew away. Sure, the Raptors ate him, but they didn't know that. Well, cut to today, and they've added the most dangerous float to the parade. Expect to lose a few children when the parade happens daily in Universal Studios Orlando. You know, we're so preoccupied with if we can, we never ask if we should.
Oh, there it is.
September 1st is Harry Potter's birthday, even though he's a fictional character, and to celebrate, Universal Orlando Resort released new concept art and details about their new marquee attraction, Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. The new art shows some extensive looks at the new queue, which include a Quidditch locker room, Hall of Ministers with an array of magical portraits, a map room featuring, of course, a moving map, Dolores Umbridge's pink Ministry of Magic office, and more. Guests will board magical elevators that will be the ride vehicles which will whisk them off through an adventure through the Ministry during the Trial of Umbridge. I'm sure everything will go exactly as planned and nothing at all will go wrong. Unless, of course, they put some Raptor Paddocks in it. They also showed some shots of Dame Imelda Stanton reprising her role as Dolores Umbridge alongside a Death Eater during the filming of the ride's mini scenes. Battle in the Ministry is expected to open alongside Epic Universe sometime in 2025. Hey, do you enjoy fun content about Disney and Universal theme parks? Sure you do! Come like and subscribe to Theme Park News Network on YouTube and join in on all the madcap fun. Like and subscribe to the channel and get notified when something new and fun drops. It's the best way to spend $0. Disney has announced some new shops and eateries set to open at the downtown Disney district at Disneyland in Anaheim. Coming this winter, Avengers Reserve will feature collectibles, apparel, accessories, toys, comics, tesseracts, arc reactors, infinity gems, and homicidal robots bent on destroying humanity. The all-new shopping destination will celebrate the unique fandom of Earth's meatiest heroes. And that probably should have been mightiest heroes, but I wrote meatiest, and that's what we're going with. Also coming this winter is the D-Lander shop, named as such because it's way trendier to remove the Isney from Disneylander, so that I have to spend several minutes trying to figure out what that name even meant. The Southern California boutique will be celebrating trend-forward fashions for Disneyland fans and also confusing trend-unassuming Disneyland fans like me. Marceline's Confectionery is being reimagined as Disney Wonderful World of Sweets, a whimsical candy shop that features candy, which makes way more sense than selling ball-peen hammers. Also, I have no idea what a ball-peen hammer is. I googled it and I looked at it. It just looks like a regular hammer. Oh, this shop is going to have that fresh-made Werther's Original Caramel Popcorn like they make at Caramel Coochie over in the Germany Pavilion at Epcot. I dream about that stuff. Like, seriously, that stuff is so good that if they said, we can only sell this to you if you punch this alligator in the snout, I'd think about it for a few seconds, but then I'm probably going to swing on that alligator. That's how good that popcorn is. This fall, a super cute kawaii slime cart debuts, and I have no idea what I just said, but if that's something that you want to trade money for, then have at it. On the restaurant front, Michelin-starred chef Joe Isadori is opening 2 new restaurants, a high-end steakhouse and a traditional barbecue joint. Previously announced Earl of Sandwich will also include a new concept on the second floor called Carnaby Tavern, which is designed as an homage to the 60s British invasion and will feature a patio with an inside-outside full-service bar. So coming soon, you'll be able to buy Mjolnir, get a nice trendy dress, eat too much caramel popcorn, buy some slime, and end your day getting sloshed with Austin Powers. Now that's variety.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
There's a new show coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios in summer 2025. The new show will be replacing Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, which is set to close on October 7th. So if you know that Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy was a thing at the studios, then get there by October 7th so you can do it one last time. The new show will feature an appearance by dozens of your favorite Disney villains, including Cruella de Vil. Hey, I just got that. Her last name is Devil. Captain Hook and Maleficent, each taking the stage for live production numbers. It's looking like the bad guys are going to slowly be taking over Walt Disney World the next few years, and I'm all for it. Bring on an Evil Queen meet and greet like they have over at Disneyland, and I can die happy, because I'm going to eat a poison apple. You put an apple in front of me, I'm going to eat it. I'm not even going to question if it's poison. The Discover Universal blog has released official behind-the-scenes info straight from the Orlando senior show director, Charles Gray. The article dives into the lore of the infamous Cary Drive-In, a theater that closed due to a grisly murder during a double feature, because it would be very weird if they didn't close during a grisly murder. According to Charles Gray, last time we leaned a little more grindhouse. This time we were a little more diverse in the different types of movies there are, like a huge ode to the creature features. Gray's personal favorite segment? Heavy Metal Hell, a spoof of 1970s satanic panic films. Head over to the Discover Universal blog at blog.discoveruniversal.com and read the full article, complete with spooky photos. Or if you're one of those spooky weird people, then just regular photos. Universal's Halloween Horror Nights is running select nights through November 3rd. They say that the event is too scary for children under the age of 13, but I say bring your toddler and get them desensitized to all the real horrors of the world early. Muppet Watch 2024, date 26. Muppets 3D is still open at Disney's Hollywood Studio. With the controversy surrounding the placement of the new Monsters, Inc. land, people are weighing in where they think Monstropolis is going to go, and if it will in fact replace Muppets Courtyard. This week, influential parks journalist Alicia Stella, when asked her thoughts on the Park Stop podcast, said, Disney wants to build Zootopia over an animation courtyard next. Because long-term, Disney World cares about the future, not the present. So far, a ton of love and support has been flooding out in support of Muppets 3D. But will that be enough to save the attraction? We'll see. Every now and then I like to take a look at the rumors in a segment I like to call Rumor Mill. Rumor. Haunted Mansion restaurant at the Magic Kingdom. You know, this timeless rumor has been popping up again on Reddit, probably because of all of the news out of D23 surrounding the new Villains area. But this is a rumor that's been floating around almost as long as all of those happy haunts in the mansion. Probability of this happening? 6 out of 10? Let's go 6 out of 10. I'm sure this has actually been pitched several times by many Imagineers. We got the Skipper Canteen, so there's precedence. And with the revamping of Frontierland and the addition of villains, this would be the perfect time to sneak this one in. But do they have the capacity for this project? I don't know, probably not anytime soon. Check back in 2030. So that's what I'm going to say. Look back here at this video in 2030 and then be like, oh, I guess this isn't a rumor anymore. Or it's still a rumor. Or YouTube, that was that thing we did back in the 2010s and 2020s. Rumor, Fast and Furious Supercharged closing for good at Universal Studios. During Halloween Horror Nights this year, Fast and Furious is closed to make room for the Major Sweets House. As of now, it's set to reopen at the end of the event on November 3rd. But there have been rumors circulating that this ride will actually close for good. Probability of this happening? I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Will it happen immediately? I don't know, maybe. Will it happen? Of course it will. I always make a point to ride it because it's such a bad ride, and I like irony. The last few rides on it have been painfully bad, as in operating poorly bad. There have been a ton of leaks stating that Universal themselves is unhappy with the ride, and it's taking up a lot of prime real estate. I think it's just a matter of time before they cut their losses. Probably before Fast and the Furious 13, 14. So look back, when Fast and Furious 14 comes out, look back at this and say, oh, this was not a rumor, or this was, you know what, you don't have to look back. Just move on. Hey, if I know you guys, I know that you love lists and you love when Disney makes lands based on their intellectual properties. Hey, let's combine the two and rank all of the IP lands across the domestic parks at Disneyland Resort and Walt Disney World in a segment we call Listomania. Disclaimer, there are a lot of differing opinions on what constitutes a land within the Disney parks. The criteria I'm using looks at the size of the land and if it's more than just one attraction and a gift shop. If the theming is strong, then it's a land in my book. But like anything based on opinion, discussion is absolutely welcome. But let's keep it civil. We're all friends here, mostly. Friends that haven't met. Number 7, Pixar Pier, Disney's California Adventure. Pixar Pier at Disney's California Adventure is the reimagined and rebranded section of DCA that was once Paradise Pier. It captures the playful spirit and creativity of Pixar with attractions, eateries, and shops reflecting the charm of the celebrated animation studio. The centerpiece is the Incredicoaster, a thrilling coaster themed around the Incredibles. Also included are the Pixar Pal-Around Ferris wheel, Inside Out themed emotional whirlwind, and of course Toy Story Mania. The main thing that puts it at the bottom of my list is the theming. It's pretty clear that they just slapped on a new coat of paint and threw up some new signs on the existing rides of Paradise Pier. I get it, it's supposed to have the charm of California landmarks like the Santa Monica Pier, but it also makes for rather lame immersion. I could play carnival games and get funnel cakes anywhere, and there's absolutely nothing that makes me feel like I'm in a Pixar movie. At best, I kind of feel like I'm in a backyard birthday party, albeit the birthday party of a very, very rich toddler. There are a few positives though. Both the Incredicoaster and the Pal-Around make for an awesome silhouette, especially if you can get a view from your room at the Grand Californian. I struggled with including the nearby Big Hero 6 themed San Francisco section, but let's face it, an unimpressive bridge and a bunch of eateries isn't going to cut it. Number 6, Avengers Campus, DCA. Oh wow, I can actually hear people rage typing over this one. Yes, Marvel's superheroes are awesome and we all love the MCU, but there's just something underwhelming about that presentation. The land itself is an action-packed campus designed to make you feel like you've joined the ranks of the Avengers, with attractions, entertainment, and exciting encounters that bring Marvel's iconic characters and stories to life. And I think that's part of the problem. While it's pretty cool to see a fight break out between Black Widow, Black Panther, and Taskmaster, we're also dealing with live action characters that are firmly entrenched with pop culture, and they need to look like the people they're portraying. During a meet and greet with Loki, I heard one kid say, "Who is that supposed to be?" That child is the galaxy's premier trickster. Too bad he's failing at the most important trick of them all, being recognizable. As of right now, we've got 2 rides, one being Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, a rethemed Tower of Terror, and the other, however, is a very underwhelming Spider-Man Web Slingers, which is an arm workout simulation, I guess. It's a boring ride. I feel like I can accomplish the same fun by just whipping my arms around watching a Spider-Man movie at home. Look at this. This is actual footage of me on the Spider-Man ride. Pim's Test Kitchen is kind of fun, I guess, if you like large pretzels. They are updating and adding a few new rides, so there's still hopes for this one to get better. But as of now, I'd rather just go somewhere else. Number 5, Toy Story Land, Disney's Hollywood Studios. I can sum up Toy Story Land's position on this list with 2 words: freaking hot. The lack of shade in all of that pavement make it a veritable easy bake oven. In fact, if there was an actual giant easy bake oven ride, it would probably be cooler inside it. Heat aside, this is a fantastically themed area. The ride queues and buildings being made out of toy boxes is brilliant. Tinker Toy lighting, Jenga towers, alphabet blocks, all of it really conveys a sense of scale and adding to the immersion of being a toy in Andy's backyard. I can live without alien swirling saucers, but Slinky Dog Dash is a great family launch coaster, and Toy Story Mania is a fun diversion from all of that heat. Wait times can get a little out of hand, but this isn't a list of wait times, is it? I love the Green Army Men, I love meeting Woody and Buzz, and the fact that Woody's Lunchbox quick service is housed in an actual Woody lunchbox? Are you kidding me with all that adorableness? For anyone that grew up with the movies, it's a perfect way to become a living toy. Actually, are there other ways to become a toy? Now we're just getting into horror territory. Or is that terror-tory? Okay, fine, I'll stop now. Number 4, Cars Land, DCA. And I'm not really sure if I want to be an anthropomorphic cart, but I do love Radiator Springs. Located in Disney's California Adventure, Cars Land is a stunningly detailed recreation of the small desert town from Pixar's Cars franchise. It transports guests to Route 66, where they can meet their favorite characters, enjoy thrilling attractions, and explore the town's quirky roadside attractions. Plus, it has one of the best rides in all of DCA. Radiator Springs Racers is as immersive as it is thrilling. In my opinion, it's a better use of the test track ride system. It blends amazing storytelling with the fun of a high-speed race through the desert. And speaking of storytelling, Imagineering did an amazing job throughout the entire space. It looks exactly like the movie, from Flo's V8 Cafe down to the Cozy Cone Motel. But the time to be there is around dusk, when the sun begins to set and all of that neon starts to blink to life. Cars Land at night, much like another IP land on this list we haven't covered yet, is almost a different experience. Especially on those cool California nights when a breeze is blowing down the main stretch and the magic of the nostalgic atmosphere is hitting you just right. Spectacular attention to detail makes for an astonishing experience that needs to be seen in person. Number 3, Mickey's ToonTown, Disneyland. I struggled with where this one should go on the list, and honestly, if I had written this list a few years ago, then Cars Land would probably be sitting in this spot. But with the addition of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, it handily leapfrogs into the number 3 spot. Mickey's ToonTown is a cartoon come to life. It's exactly what you'd want from a 3D representation of the classic cartoons. I'm a complete sucker for attractions like Mickey's House, as lame as that might seem. It spikes my imagination. I want to feel immersed, and there's just something magical about hanging out in Mickey's living room and watching everything on his DVR and eating everything out of his refrigerator, maybe petting Pluto. And I make no excuses of how much I love Runaway Railway. As a fan of dark rides, that thing is next level. Even though it's an exact clone of what we got in Florida, the addition of that queue puts the other version to shame. The El Capitan Theater is an amazing accomplishment in themed queues, and it makes standing around waiting an entertaining part of the ride. Plus, I'm a fan of Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin. It's not as shiny and new as Railway, but it's still charming, and even better, it's Roger Rabbit, an IP that is sorely lacking in all of the parks. Give us more Roger Rabbit, please. Like 1989 MGM Studios, Roger Rabbit everywhere kind of feel. It's a great place to just chill and hang, but kind of be aware that if you're a middle-aged man hanging out alone around children, it might not be a great look. I'm talking from experience. Look, I talked it out with park security. We're good now. Number 2, Pandora, the World of Avatar, Animal Kingdom. Hey, I can't stand the Avatar movies. They're just not my thing. I've fallen asleep every time I've tried to watch them. So why is this so high on my list? Because it's gorgeous. When Imagineering is on their game, this is the type of place that we get. It's a breathtaking land that transports guests to an alien world, and it really feels like it when you cross that bridge. What they do with sound and lighting is an amazing achievement. It can't be easy to make a mountain float, but there they are, floating around looking crazy awesome. There is so much lush vegetation and fauna landscaped through the space, and it creates a dramatic and otherworldly atmosphere. The entire land is designed to feel alive with alien plants, sound of exotic wildlife, and rivers that flow through this immersive environment. It feels like you're being hunted. It's obvious by the care that went into this place that the designers knew they were making something special. It doesn't hurt that the main attraction, Flight of Passage, is one of the best 3D simulator rides in the world. A level up from Soarin', it allows guests to experience what it's like to fly on the back of a Banshee through the skies, forests, and oceans of Pandora. Like Cars Land, it becomes a different experience at night. Pandora transforms into a glowing wonderland with bioluminescent plants lighting up the landscape in vibrant blues, greens, and purples. It's truly a magical, dreamlike, ethereal experience that isn't to be missed. That is, if you can hit Animal Kingdom at a time when it's open late enough. The major selling point for me, it's not the movies. I find myself able to stay awake to see the whole thing. Bonus, it won't take nearly as long to experience either. Got 'em. Even though you made billions and billions of dollars. I made like $38,000 last year. You know what? Take that, James Cameron. Got you. Number 1, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios. I will perform this as a haiku. Falcon's roar takes flight. Lightsabers hum in the night. Battles come alive. I just read that to my wife, and her only response, I don't get it. I guess Japanese poetry isn't for everyone, including me, who is incredibly embarrassed right now. So, let's keep the embarrassment going. I cry every time I see that life-size Millennium Falcon. I cry every time I escape a Star Destroyer on Rise of the Resistance. I also cried when Boba Fett hit on my wife and she went home with him.
Don't try to distract me.
Which was the right call because I would have done the same to her. You know, I had a conversation with Grogu. He looked right into my eyes and babbled nonsense at me as the Mandalorian said he would put in a good word for me at the Assassin's Guild, even though we both knew I would be killed immediately if I joined the Assassin's Guild. I could just hang there for hours watching kids run towards Chewbacca and run away from Kylo Ren. I know that there are a lot of people that criticize it, and that criticism isn't unwarranted. I'm not a huge fan that it's tied to the newer movies and shows. I'm also not the biggest fan of the Falcon ride. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm 5 years old and having an adventure in a galaxy far, far away. And that is the true magic of Disney. Hate my choices? Want to call me a Disney simp? Fine, do it below in the comments. And while you're at it, let me know what lands you love. Well, kids, it's that time again. The part of the show where I'm slowly running out of scripted material. When that happens, it's usually time to wrap it up and go home. If you like what I'm doing, then go follow me over on X, Twitter, I think that's what it's called, at TPNNMatt. I'll be back next week with some more news and some wacky bull. But now I have to go write some more haikus. You know, that's the key to wealth, haikus. Uh-oh, I said the word haiku too many times. It's going to trigger the YouTube algorithm. Another show buried. Algorithm.